We now enter the auspicious Yuddha Kanda of Ramayana. So we saw Hanuman come back and give the good news to Sri Ram that he has seen Sita and knows the whereabouts. So immediately Sugriva arranges for the army and Ram proceeds south. He proceeds south with the whole army, and there is great enthusiasm in everyone to fight for Sri Ram and get Mother Sita back. So they all reach the coast of the southern tip of Bharat, and there, when they are camping there, meanwhile, Vibhishana on the other side in Lanka gives counsel to Ravana, saying that you better return Sita, you are not doing right, and this act is going to bring about your death. Ravana gets only angry with Mother Sita, with Vibhishana, and he chastises him. So Vibhishana leaves Ravana and comes to the other side of the ocean to find where Sri Ram is. And as soon as Vibhishana comes, all of them see Vibhishana coming, and everyone suspects Vibhishana because they are not sure what Vibhishana is. Hanuman alone knows, but Vibhishana comes and surrenders to Sri Ram, saying, I have left Ravan and I want to be with you. So Ram patiently asks everyone their counsel, and everyone, including Sugriva, says we cannot be so sure, he is coming from the enemy camp and we have to be careful and all the rest. Finally, Hanuman, when he is asked for his counsel, he very wisely says, I know the heart of Vibhishan. He is fully devoted to Sri Ram. We should accept him. So after listening to all of this carefully, Ram finally declares very beautifully in a very famous, often quoted statement of Ramayanam. He says, Sakrudeva prapannaya tavasmi iti yachate abhayam sarvabhutebhyo dadami etat vratam mama. He says, if one comes to me one time, Sakrudeva prapannaya, and surrenders unto me, and says, Tavasmi iti yachate, he says, I am yours. Abhayam sarvabhutebhyo, to give him a total state of fearlessness from all beings, is the vow I have taken. Dadami etat pratam mama. So he declares so beautifully, not just for Vibhishana, for all of humankind, or for that matter, all living entities, that anyone who surrenders unto him will be protected. The same promise given by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, where he says, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tuam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. This is exactly what Sri Ram says, and thus Vibhishana Sharanagati happens. It's a very famous episode of Ramayana. Just as we saw Paduka Pattabhishekam and the devotion of Bharata in the Aranya Kanda, we see the Vibhishana Sharanagati and the devotion of Vibhishana and the compassion of Sri Ram. So with Vibhishan by their side, now they are setting about to cross the ocean, and Ram first, following the right protocol, sits for 3 days in meditation, asking the ocean to part ways. But nothing happens for 3 days. The ocean does not stir. So finally, Ram gets out of his meditation. He is in anger now. And with his anger, he takes his bow and his arrow, and he twangs it, and he is about to launch the arrow into the ocean to dry up the whole ocean. He has got the knowledge of weapons which was bestowed to him by Vishwamitra, as we already saw. And these weapons are all very mystical, very powerful, described in detail. They invoke various elements, and one of them is the fire element, which it can invoke to dry up the ocean. So when this weapon is about to be launched, with great anger, so Valmiki, by the way, says that when Ram gets angry, even the devas are afraid. He says, Yasya bibhyati devascha jataroshasya sanyuge. He is the embodiment of peace. He is always looking most tranquil. But when he is in anger in a war, even all the devatas are terrified. So the Samudra is terrified. He comes to his feet in the personal form and he offers his obeisances, apologizes, and says, "Please, I'll give you the way to cross this bridge. Engage this Nala and Neela, who are expert architects in building a bridge across the ocean." So accordingly, Ram says, "So be it." And Nala and Neela, with the help of all the monkeys, bears, and all other living entities, even squirrels, which bring small pebbles and so on, with all of this, the bridge is constructed in 5 days. It takes 5 days of day and night effort, and the bridge is constructed. And this is the very bridge that is even now seen today in NASA's pictures. So we don't know the exact time and all the rest, but it certainly denotes the historical nature of all these events. The bridge is found, and so this bridge is constructed, and Ram, with the entire army, crosses the bridge, reaches Lanka, and as soon as he reaches Lanka, the great tumult is heard by Ravan. The whole island is shaking because of this army of Sri Ram. And they all camp on a mountain which is outside the fortress of Lanka. And right from that camp, Sugriva sees Ravana, and out of great anger at what he has done to Sita, Sugriva being a loyal friend of Sri Ram, he, without any thought, impulsively jumps into the fortress and fights with Ravan, knocks his crown down, and then comes back. Ram, of course, chastises him, saying, "You should not do this because it can put your life at great peril." But it just shows Sugriva's friendship and loyalty. And meanwhile, Ravan is preparing for war, and the war eventually ensues. Ram launches this massive assault on the fort, and there is a great war that happens. The army of both sides fighting with great vigor, great enthusiasm on both sides first, but eventually it is seen that the demons are getting killed in great numbers. Ravana is sending all his great generals, Kumbha, Nikumba, Prahasta, Dhumraksha, so many great generals he has. All of them are slain one after another. Then he sends Meghanada, who is also called Indrajit, his son. And Indrajit is very powerful, so he launches a very mystical weapon that binds Ram and Lakshman in serpents, and they fall down. So this is the first time a setback happens to the army of Rama. Ram and Lakshman fall down, and in a beautiful intervention of the divine, Garuda comes, the divine vehicle of Bhagavan. Garuda comes there and removes the serpents, removes the poison, and awakens Ram and Lakshman in order to continue the fight. Then after that, the fight continues. There is more loss on the demon side. Ravana is slowly losing one by one. Finally, he decides to wake up Kumbhakarna, his brother who sleeps for 6 months of the year and awake for 6 months. Kumbhakarna is woken up only by the smell of food. So he is woken up. He comes like a giant, and he himself, even though he is very tamasic and he is only caught in food and sloth, he himself realizes the way of Rajas of Ravan is not correct. He tells Ravana, "This is not going to work out for you." Ravana doesn't listen, but Kumbhakarna, being tamasic, he is still devoted to Ravana. So he says, "I shall fight for you." And he goes and engages in a great fight with Ram. And Ram is on the shoulder of Hanuman, and Hanuman flies for Ram to reach the height of Kumbhakarna. There is a beautiful fight between the two, and Kumbhakarna is chopped off limb by limb. His arms are first chopped off, his legs are chopped off, he falls down and he is killed. and thus Kumbhakarna is actually liberated. As we may recall, Jaya and Vijaya are the ones who came as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, and then now as Ravana and Kumbhakarna. So Kumbhakarna is also actually liberated by being killed. Then Indrajit does one more great trick, which is he brings Maya Sita in the skies and kills her, as it were. Seeing this, everyone is flabbergasted, everyone is shocked. They think the entire purpose of the war is to get Sita back, and now Sita has been killed by Indrajit. What do we do? But Vibhishan gives counsel there. Vibhishan says, do not trust Indrajit. This is not real Sita. This is only Maya Sita. Do not worry. So then the war continues, and then Indrajit gets very angry at Vibhishan because of Vibhishan being on the other side and giving all the secrets. So Indrajit launches a weapon on Vibhishan, but Lakshman comes and protects Vibhishan to help Vibhishan, who has taken Sharanagati, surrender. In the process, Lakshman is hit by the weapon of Indrajit and he falls down. And Ram is plunged into great sorrow, seeing his dear brother who has given up everything. Lakshman is away from his wife and is away from his mother. He has come as a brother who is constantly keeping guard, every moment staying up, never sleeping the whole 14 years, embodiment of service, and that Lakshman has fallen down. So Ram says, what is the use of this war if Lakshman is gone? He shows the human side of his love for his brother there. And then Jambavan tells Hanuman that Hanuman, there is this special herb that can bring Lakshmana back to life. It's called Sanjeevani. You can go and get it now. Do it fast. So Lakshmana, in order to be saved, Hanuman instantly flies and he goes to the mountain Rishabha among the Himalayas, and there he looks for the herb. He is not sure where the herb is. He has no time. Hanuman is very intelligent in every way, so he instantly with his power lifts the whole mountain, brings it in a grand sight which is always remembered. Hanuman carrying the mountain, he flies across the ocean again, brings the mountain, puts it, and the very smell of the divine herbs awaken Lakshman. And it is said, by the way, even today, that in Lanka there is some herbs that are found which are found only in the Himalayas. So in this way, the historical nature of these events are again indicated, and Lakshmana is awoken, and now Lakshmana says, I will get Indrajit. So Indrajit is meanwhile doing a major yajna, in a very tamasic yajna, which brings a lot of powers to him, in a cave called Nikumbila. So there Vibhishana tells him this is the cave, he does this yajna, and if he completes this, he'll be invincible. So Lakshman goes there, confronts him, and there is a great fight between Lakshmana and Indrajit is slain. Then all that remains is Ravana, and Ravana comes to battle, having seen everyone lost, nobody remaining, only himself. He fights valiantly. The battle goes so intensely between the two, and in order to support Ram, Indra gives his own chariot with his charioteer Matali, and with the chariot of gold that is there for Ram to mount to counter the chariot of Ravana. There is a great fight between the two. The fight is so intense that Valmiki, the great poet who never runs out of any similes, he says here, there are certain things that cannot be compared. Sky cannot be compared to anything, ocean cannot be compared to anything, and Rama Ravana Yuddham cannot be compared to anything. He says, Gaganam Gaganakaram Sagaram Sagaropamam Rama Ravanayor Yuddham Rama Ravanayoriva. It is such an intense war between the two, unparalleled. And at the end of the day, Ravana is fallen down without any weapon, and Ram could have slayed him right then, but Ram says, go and come back tomorrow. And Ravana comes back the next day, But when he comes back with even more power somehow. He fights very valiantly and the fight drags on. So at that time, sage Agastya appears in a divine vision and teaches Rama what is called as Aditya Hridayam, a very famous mantra which gives power and victory in all endeavors. And Aditya Hridayam being chanted by Rama, Rama is now launching this war against Ravana again with full vigor. Every time he cuts a head of Ravana, it keeps coming back. And then finally, Rama is told, go for his heart directly. So Ram launches the most powerful weapon directly to the heart of Ravana, and Ravana is slain. There is great symbolism here too, because every head of Ravana represents thoughts rising every time. Each thought we suppress, thought keeps coming back. But if we go to the root of the thought, only then thoughts subside and we abide in the pure heart. So that is the beautiful symbolism of each head keeping on coming back until Ram goes for the heart of Ravan. We'll see the whole symbolism quickly, but the entire Ramayana is beautiful to listen to, is highly symbolic of the spiritual journey as well. So in this way, Ravana being slayed is the slaying of the ego. Mandodari and all the queens come and cry. And then Vibhishana is asked to perform the obsequies for Ravana. And then Ram enters the outskirts of Lanka. He never enters the city because he's still in Vanavas. So he just remains at the outskirts. And Lakshmana is asked to aid Vibhishana in the coronation. And Hanuman is asked to go inside and bring Sita. And when Sita comes back, in the most often commented incident, Ram tells Sita that I have done what I can do to protect you and to get you back. But because you have been in captivity, it is something that I cannot accept right now. Because the one who has been in captivity for so many months, to accept her back will be a blot on the Ikshwaku dynasty. So when Ram says these apparently harsh words, Sita is heartbroken. And Sita says, I was holding my life only for meeting you. And now you are saying this to me. So I shall just enter fire and lose my body right here. So she enters fire. But when she enters the fire doesn't even touch her. It's cool for her. She enters and she comes out unscathed in everyone's plain sight. Everyone sees this grand miracle of Sita. They all glorify Sita and they come. And because of this, everyone criticizes Ram, including Lakshman, who asks, why did we do this? And then Ram reveals his heart. He says, I never had any doubt about Sita whatsoever. But the reason I made this happen is to announce to the world the glory of Sita. If I didn't do this, it is possible that someone might complain about me as simply attached to his wife and accepting Sita. By saying this, by doing this, by making Sita go through Agni Pariksha, Sita's glory is forever to its maximum, even if it means I am being criticized. So this is the compassion of Bhagavan that we have seen in many occasions here too. As Bhakta Vatsala, he only wants the devotee to be glorified, even if it means he is being criticized. So even till today, people question this action of Ram and glorify Sita, which is exactly as ordained by Ram, that his consort dear Sita be glorified, even if it's at the expense of himself. So in this way, the pastime of Agni Pariksha is over, and then they all mount the Pushpaka Vimana, and then they go back. Ram sends Hanuman ahead of time to go to Ayodhya to make sure Bharata knows he is coming. And They all go to Ganga first. Sita had promised that she will offer her worship to Ganga. So they go to Bharadwaja's ashram. Sita offers prayers to Ganga. Then they all go back to Ayodhya. And Bharata is elated. He carries the wooden sandals of Ram on his head, accompanied by great music, great festivities, Vedic chants, everything. All the various citizenry of Ayodhya, everyone go there and they all welcome Ram. And immediately Ram is surrounded by his dear brothers. Hanuman is holding a white umbrella over Ram. Vibhishana and Sugriva are waving fans. Angada is carrying a sword. Jambavan is carrying a shield. It is a divine sight. It is said it is like the moon is surrounded by stars. Ram is surrounded by all of them. That is why he is called Ramachandra. Sri Ramachandra is surrounded by all of them. And with this beautiful vision, Ram enters Ayodhya. And right away he goes to the quarters. First he offers his obeisance to Kaikeyi to make sure she has no sense of guilt. He first offers obeisance to Kaikeyi, then Sumitra, and only then Kausalya. And then Vasishta says, we will have the coronation tomorrow itself. All the waters of all the oceans and rivers are brought. And Vasishta pours the water on the matted locks of Ram, removes it. He is adorned very beautifully with great ornaments. And Ram is ascending through the throne of Ayodhya with Sita, surrounded by Lakshman, Bharata, Shatrughna, with Hanuman at his feet, with all the friends, all the citizenry, everyone glorifying. The whole universe is happy. And this way, Sri Ram's Pattabhishekam happens. And Ram Rajya begins with, in this way, the most glorious kingdom, which is all prosperous, where all of nature is bountiful, all people are peaceful, everyone is happy, and the entire world is brimming with joy. Listening to Ramayana in this way, concluding with Pattabhishekam, is itself a great sadhana, great blessing for us to listen to Valmiki's blessing upon all of humanity. And it symbolizes the journey of the soul, which is symbolized by Sita, who, due to the 10-headed Ravana's temptation of golden deer, the 10-headed Ravana represents the 10 senses. The golden deer represents material attachment, due to which she ignored for a moment the counsel of intellect, which is Lakshmana, because of which she was caught in the prison house of material attachment, which is Lanka, guarded by the 3 gunas of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, which is Vibhishana, Ravana and Kumbhakarna. And Hanuman represents the surrendered mind, which is coming forth from connected to breath, hence he is Vayuputra. And the surrendered mind is the vehicle through which the divine takes back the soul to be one with him in Ayodhya, which means the place of no conflict, the place of eternal peace. This is the symbolism of Ramayana. Such a beautiful story with all glories just listening to it. Sukha Brahmam concludes by saying, Purusho Ramacharitam Shravanair Upadharayan Anushamsayo Paro Rajan Karma Bandhair Vimuchyate. He says, simply listening to Ramayana, Ramacharitam Shravanair Upadharayan, by listening and holding it in our heart, Karma Bandhair Vimuchyate. We are simply freed of all attachments and situated in freedom.